Hello guys and welcome back to Field of Glory Empires. We're in a new turn now. It's the year 154 BC. Our ruler has decided that another part of Egypt should be owned by me. I think the one in Alexandria just expired. Or wait, what? Yeah, this is out. Yeah, it expired and changed to this. So he's still placing them in Egypt. I could definitely use some. My manpower has hit its cap. That sounds like I need to use it. The thing is, it would have to be used relatively soon, or it's just going to stockpile up forever. Well, I could certainly make a purchase with all of this. For example, I could ask for the province of Palestina. It's the only thing, well, it's not the only thing, I guess. There's also the Delta, but I don't know if I want to go for that right now. And then I could offer, say, 1440 manpower, which would be most of it, and some money. Not sure if we can squeeze in part of the Delta for that. It's literally just called Delta. Theoretically, that should be easy to find, except, here it is. It's worth a lot. Yeah, I'll save that for later. Just take this. Maybe I could request some metal, a tiny amount, in return. Yeah, we could get a little bit of metal back. At least 56. Yeah, 56. So 56 metal in return. Plus Palestina, I give you 1,000 money, 1440 manpower. Propose that treaty. Although, that doesn't change the fact that we're over the cap right now. Something has to be done about that. And I think I know just what to do with it. So I can bring it down under the cap pretty easy by recruiting 8 skirmishers and putting them right here. And that would allow me to then split out some archers and just kind of keep them in reserve somewhere for another stack at some point. Though, I'm not sure how many more stacks I could realistically have. Because look at this. There's very little in the way of generals remaining. At the very least, one more would probably work. Can a navy have a general? I guess it can. It probably can, yeah. Although I'm running out of generals. Apparently there's a building that could add more leaders. It's called the War Academy, but I've not seen such a thing, so who knows when or where we would get access to that. But trying to think ahead, that would be something we'd run into. We're either going to need to make bigger stacks, or we're going to need to make a lot of stacks that don't have generals. Maybe the ones that don't have generals could be mostly on defensive duty. Maybe they also could be not as large. I don't want to go too much bigger just because of supply. Until the whole world gets absolutely laden with population, which some locations kind of are, and provinces, then I feel like having massive army stacks that go beyond 46 is stupid. I don't know how the Antigonids are keeping it up, but they're off to go somewhere else now. They are. We did not manage to inflict any casualties on the defenders. In some cases, we might need more units just because of sieging. In cases like this, but also it's already at 39 food usage. That's quite a lot, I feel. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. It's a non-issue for now, though. The usurper is going crazy through the center of Egypt, it seems. Absolutely crazy. That's neat. We built the coastal market that we were setting up last turn. That's pretty good. We did that without any fish in the actual exact location. It must just be in the province in general and count. Interesting. I wonder if that gets traded. It might not. We could go for some infrastructure or some more food. We kind of need both at the moment. So either or would be useful. I think I'll take the wheelmaker and move one pop down to culture. We've built a stud just next door to that. Many slots here. We don't have a public works. Well, we want a public works. That's part of a greater location. I'll move one character down to culture and then let that build. We got a new population to the north. Doesn't change a lot. And we do have the preserved food store currently being made. There is a new population next to that, and it's kind of the same situation. Why does this have... We must have just built an infrastructure building. I can move quite a lot of stuff around. I'll move most of this up to food. North of there, we built a school. This is on a provincial capital. This is on Orontes. We could easily go for the weapons manufacturer here. A building would benefit from this. Equipment. Yeah, I don't see why not. I don't even see anywhere in like any of this that War Academy. So I don't know where that comes up. We might find out eventually. But I'll build the local weapons manufacturer. It's going to take a while anyway. New population in Syria. Okay, new population in Palmyra. I don't think this really changes anything in either of these locations. Loyalty here is not good. I understand why, but like also oof. Also just oof. How should we handle this? Maybe just move a bunch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and put them on culture? That might be a bit much. But we do need culture, so maybe not a bit much either. And put you on food. That seems good to me. Sure, why not? We got a new pop to the east. Looks good to me. Well, I mean, a lot of this could look a lot better, but it still looks good to me. Oh, God, this is terrible. Move you on to infrastructure. Wood cutting has been built just next to that. I can go ahead and call for a land expansion or a large farm. I'll take the land expansion first. That's more important, I think. A cult site has been built next to that on the capital of this total region. Is this really the best location for a capital? Well, it's where we got one. I'll take the courthouse here. Reduce decadence in that region, sure. We got new pop just next to that. That doesn't change much for me. East of there, we've built the granary along the border, which is blockaded for some reason. Because Persia has a navy. There's a lot of potential buildings here. I'll build the temple to get more conversion bonus, because we haven't really been converting anybody here. And we definitely would like to do that. Stables have been built nearby in a capital. I could build an archery here. I could build a lot of things. I like to build up military. I do this in Total War as well. Build up military in capitals. We have an extra pop to the south of there. Opens up a slot. And what do we want? This is also blockaded. I could build... Wow, that would take forever. A stadium. That would take forever. It's slotless, though. Health and manpower. Even some conversion. We don't need that, but I mean, slotless is slotless. Upgrade from the gymnasium, sure. Why not? A courthouse went up just next to that. Regional roads, yes please. I'd love more roads in the region. Physician's house was built west of there. Can once again plop down a stadium. Is it needed? Not exactly, but it's the only building slot, so let's go for it. I'll move one person from food to infrastructure. I think that would be useful in this circumstance. Southeast, we got pop from healthcare. Okay. Healthcare, really? Birth rate has been observed. I guess that resets the normal growth. You can get a preserved food store. That would be very useful. In bat, yes please. And then an extra population nearby the capital. Only one building slot. Everything is very, very quick to build. We don't need so much loyalty here. That's for sure. Needs pottery. Not that important. I could go for the physician's house. We get some culture, some health. That would help with any future growth for sure. Yeah. Let's go for that. And then move one of these pops down to infrastructure. Next to that, we got a builder's guild. 2 slots available. I can upgrade to... Wait, what? The warehouse to a large warehouse to get more infrastructure. If I so chose. Not much else really to build here, so... Sure, I don't see why not. More infrastructure means pops can go elsewhere. Not sure where they really need to be. Not on infrastructure, clearly. That's going to potentially... upgrade that quite a bit. Yeah. Would be curious to see the end result of that. South of there, we got another new pop from healthcare. The pop growth doesn't even seem to matter anymore. Only the 1 slot available. I think I might build some woodcutting here. I barely build these and the salt mines, but they're both pretty important. I could go for the salt mine too for the food. I'll go for the woodcutting, I think. I'll go for the woodcutting. Sure. Nothing else there really looks better. We finished a physician's house on this island and got another pop. So the building slots just keep on expanding. The gymnasium would help local growth. Preceptor house would lower decadence. This place could use some decadence reduction. It could use some growth. Not sure what's more important. I guess the gymnasium. Because, I mean, how is my decadence? It's doing pretty great. It's not really a problem. In that case, do we have anything else? Yes, a tar workshop's been built along the coast. We have 1 slot available. Not sure what to build here. The expert stonecutter would add some infrastructure and some culture. That doesn't seem too bad. The physician's house could be further upgraded if I go for the health instead. I'm not sure which one's better. I think I'll take the expert stonecutter. Get a little bit more culture. The infrastructure is just kind of like a bonus. And then, this is an Arabia Deserta, huh? This is going to add how much? 6? Let me move 2 guys onto food. That should be fine, I hope. Just across the way, the strait, we built a garum shop. There are still 4 slots available. I can get a preserved food store. I want that more than anything else here. So yes, give me that. And that's all we can build for right now. We have an offer going out. I'm recruiting some skirmishers. We're going to end up with like a stockpile of archers that I don't really know what to do with. See, what I'm really tempted to do instead is actually just to build a bunch of regular infantry. Because this is all I really have for siege value. I can't recruit large siege engines. All my siege value comes from these guys. And they only have a siege value of 1. Nobody else has a siege value, like, at all. I can't even recruit mercenaries from there. The mercenaries also only have a siege value of 1. So I'm tempted to just recruit a bunch of these instead and hand them out. I don't know how much I would really need, but just judging by the fact that an entire army can take shelter, like right here, and we realize, well, in some instances, I might need some more siege value. We're short 3 here. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to recruit 10 regular infantry and just add 2 to every single stack to get a little more siege value. Just in general, that's not enough to, like, solve any problems, necessarily. We could do with more. There's other ways I can upgrade the stacks as well. This is just a way to get 2 more units into every stack. And that would be fine. It would add 2 more siege value. Little tiny bit of growth that would consume the manpower that I kind of need to consume. And that's the whole reason why I'm doing that. You know, if the Marians can't keep their shit together, that means these waters aren't necessarily always safe. Maybe a small navy here should be worth considering as well. Not like a super navy, but a small navy at some point. I'm not sure, because this is becoming more secure as time goes on anyway. So I don't know. It's weird, it was showing that I had like 999 turns to get down here a moment ago. I don't know why. I think it might be mistaken in thinking that we can run through there. I think that might be the problem. It's 3 turns to sail around, so I'll just get started on that. It's 3 turns to get down here to the border, and then the peace has to expire anyway before we go after Egypt some more. So that sounds good to me. There's no real decisions that I care to do, so we can go ahead and easily just hit end turn. Move it into the next turn. I think we're going to be over our limit on manpower again anyway. Maybe, depends if it accounts for all the new manpower I'm using from all this regular infantry. There's also more spares of some frontline units I can get, and then the whole idea of having archers kind of form like a rear line kind of thing. So I didn't inflict any casualties, but the army came out to fight me. Maybe because they wanted to get it done before the Ethiopian army arrived to assist me. Alright, sure. This is a very small front. Let's see. Stalemate. Oh my god, really? Heavy infantry stalemated with warriors. Wow. Well, the rest of the warriors are dying. Skirmishers dead. Warriors dead. You know, I wouldn't mind having warriors instead of regular infantry at this point. I can't recruit them, though. Tribes can recruit them, clearly. The limitations to what you can recruit is quite interesting. You can never quite make a perfect strategy happen. Persia actually showed up to attack me? What was that navy? Were those troops? And why did you land in the only place that I have troops to begin with? Immortals. So very powerful infantry by the looks of it. Yet, not enough skirmishing ability. All my ranged capabilities have just made this like an easy win. naturally. Also the numbers, of course. Another battle is happening. The Ethiopians still aren't here. Not that it matters, probably. This is where spares come in handy. Oh, man. Well, it didn't care. It put the injured heavy infantry on the front again. But that is where spares could come in handy. I do have spares of, I think, literally everything that goes on the front. A very small amount of spares, but I do have spares. I am tempted to pump out, since I have all this excess, 2 more heavy infantry, because that's like the main stuff on the front, generally, anyway. So it'd be like 12 and 12 with the regular. And then that would get every stack size up to 50. Looks like, alright, they marched everything out, so I've now occupied that. So this should just belong to me, because Blemmies doesn't own anything else. And that should put an end to their incessant raiding. Yeah, we've hit the manpower cap again, but just barely. Our peace treaty with Nubia has ended. Now, let's see. Maria conquered the seat of power of Persia. Good job, guys. We gained 1628 money from Blemmies by taking the seat of power from them. Yeah, we've conquered that as well. Been added to the nation. And a general of this, has been forced to retire due to health issues. Let's assign a new general. I barely ever have enough generals, and some of them are bad. We are short one because of our bad military ruler, but we do have to account for that. 1/4 of less than 10 is not a lot to lose, so I'll probably leave that alone, because the trade's probably going to go through, and we're going to lose a bunch of it anyway very shortly, because I'm trading primarily with manpower because I can. Are we still dumping stuff? Yeah, we're still dumping money. I guess once we go over 10k, it just starts doing that. We got another grand royal treasury. Every royal treasury is grand. So we're still dumping money into the treasuries, which is, as I mentioned, going to make them costlier. Hey, look, gold's being imported. Yeah, because I built gold nearby. So we save a lot of money. It costs to import, but we still save a lot of money. Get a palace guard to protect it, some decadence. More culture, at the very least. Interesting trade-off there, but hey. It is what it is. Next to the capital, we built a physician's house. Nothing else I could do there then. We built an expert stone cutter. Nothing else I could do there. Smoke has been built and a new population has been grown. Put you on infrastructure, I suppose. I could use some infrastructure here. A wheelmaker would be great. We have 5 available building slots. Sure. In the Sinai, we built a crafter district on the capital. I could build, I don't know, like military buildings here as well. It's just, we lack a lot of the basics. We lack a lot of the basics. We have a lot of desertics, so cult site not supremely important. A wheelmaker would be useful. It would be useful. I'll go for that. And then a preserved food store and 1 extra pop has popped up in Galilea. I could go for the anchorage. That's slotless and it would be useful. There's other useful things here, like a large farm. I'm going to go for the anchorage. It's very quick to build. It'd be very, very quick to build. I'll move 1 guy down to infrastructure. Reserved food store built next to that. 2 slots available. What do we want here? We could use a cult site. That would be pretty useful for conversion and give a little bit of culture at the cost of some infrastructure. We could also use some infrastructure and food still. That's for sure. And we have 2 slots available, huh? I think I'll take the cult site. If they convert, they'll be more productive anyway. We received 2 slaves here due to the slave market. I'll go ahead and disassemble this now. This could definitely be disassembled. We have enough slaves here at this point. And they're all doing their jobs. Building weapon manufacturer already. Next to that, we got a preceptor house and an extra population. 3 building slots. I could build regional roads. Doesn't take a slot, but I do love me some roads. So let's build a road. Got free infrastructure. New population. Doesn't change anything. New population. Doesn't change anything. Regional roads built just to the south, which shows we have a nice expanding, interconnecting highway in our nation. Love that. Scorched desert. Ew. Land expansion? Yes, please. And then we have a new population next to that. Also, doesn't really change anything, which is good, I suppose. Let's head eastwards, and we got city walls built and new population has grown. And what do we want here? I don't really care for the bank. Not here, anyway. There's not a lot of buildings here that actually add infrastructures. Let's go for the clay pit. Produce some stone? Sure. We have a sacred estate built just next to that. Only 1 slot available in this zone, so we have to be picky, but I don't see anything to be picky with. 0 money? What the hell? That's weird. Maybe because the fish and salt are all being imported. I don't know. But there's a garum shop, and it would give a positive to food. Or I could go for the sanitation that could be upgraded to sewers later. Health. Yeah, you know, I'll go for the health, probably. I'll go for the health. That sounds good to me. Charcina, nothing special. We got a new population in Pterodon. 1 slot is available there. All the base resources look pretty good to me. A cult site wouldn't really be needed. A brickwork could be used, but also still not really needed. I'll build it. It's one of the only infrastructure buildings that isn't already here. To the south, we built a hospital out in the desert. Only 1 slot available. I could build a stadium. It would take forever. It's in a province, so it would get better over time. I'll build the stadium. We only have the 1 slot. Might as well put it to use. Everything here is building something. That's a nice change. Whereas I think in the main province, there's almost nothing building. To the south, we built city walls because it was slotless. Infrastructure could use an improvement, so I think I'm going to build the wheel maker. I could build the potter's workshop to improve a structure nearby to produce more money, but I don't know. We're pretty short on infrastructure here, so I'm going to go, and we have a lot of stuff on it. So yeah, let's go ahead and build that. Is there anything else we can do in terms of building? Yes, right here we built regional roads. Oh, 2 regional roads are done. I thought it looked a lot bigger than just 1. All right. What do we want here? Pretty much everything looks really good, to be honest. We must have just built new infrastructure things here. Is what we must have done. I think I'm gonna put some guys on culture. And then shift some dudes over to food. And then see what we have. A gymnasium would be great for some more growth, naturally. This isn't a capital, so I don't really care for this military stuff at the moment. So I think just the gymnasium or the theater. We have enough dudes on culture anyway, that I'm going to say the gymnasium. Anywhere else? Nope, that's already it. We're just waiting to hear back from the Antigonids. We're still getting ready for more war. Now I have the Eritrea army, which is just like free to go elsewhere. I guess it could go over here. Now we have a little more versatility for this upcoming war. 2 turns to get there, that's more than enough time. The food in this region is going to have a not happy time for a turn or 2, but it should hopefully get better. And we're just going to go after these objectives and continue to expand ourselves. Ethiopia is in an endless war with Nubia that I just don't want to involve myself in. Don't know how much of Egypt we're actually going to go for. I just want to take the objectives, and there's like 4 of them. That would lower my age tremendously. Probably down to a very low value if I got 4. Thus making decadence a non-issue for a while. I moved over into the next turn. The Antigonids agreed on my treaty, so we have much lower manpower, but we have used it to acquire Israel, basically. Gather food, we don't need that. The golden age is gone. Oh my. That affects things, but not dramatically, honestly. So we took this. This looks okay to me. It's not terrible. It could be better. Definitely want some more dudes on food than what's already here. Some of this is just unnecessary. Move you guys to food as well. Might move you guys to food as well. That looks better. Oh, I now have to create the province. That's funny. Alright, well, we're creating the province. They're building a school here. I'm fine with that. Just keep doing that. Slotless, after all. What is this? Let's swap some citizens over to food. More to food. More to food. I feel like we should have at least 1 on culture. Maybe more with how this looks, actually. How about 5 on culture? That looks a lot better. We'll see how that goes with time. And we also got this one, which is doing a land expansion, which I definitely approve of. This much money is definitely not needed in construction. The productivity of infrastructure here is god-awful. So the slaves on food, 1 guy on culture, and the rest of the citizens working on infrastructure. That's pretty bad, but it's okay. A new, very terrible general has spawned. Why are there 50 Antagonids in my... What are you doing here? Aren't you in wars that you need to fight? Yeah, Iberiae, Saramatia, Gothones. I guess you're winning those. I don't know what you're doing. Like, where do you think you're going? What? There's nothing back here. I should know. I live here. Whatever. We got new population here on the border, which is still under pacification, by the way. Ooh. I'd love the preserved food store, especially now. So I'll go for that. It's better than the city walls. New population next to that. No similar luck here, and we don't even have walls here to begin with. But the wheelmaker would be very useful, so I'll take that. Next to that, another pop, but that doesn't actually change anything dramatically. So we leave that alone. Might move one guy down to infrastructure. Oh, you know, I'll put him on culture, actually. That's probably smarter. Regional roads were finished here. We have roads connecting through Ethiopia now. This was once Ethiopia, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I'll put a monument here to get some culture. The loyalty here could be better. On this island, we've gotten another new population. That's nice. Don't know what to do with it. Looks like we didn't add more money to anything at the moment. Like, are we happy with these tier 2 royal treasuries? I don't know if it can upgrade any further right now unless those locations get more tier 2 commerce buildings. That's a thing. You have to build higher tiers of certain buildings to then get the tiers after that. So that's like one reason why we don't have any bigger harbor options in some places. We don't have enough buildings of that type. Speaking of around here, we got a new population. Okay. A wax workshop could be good. Ooh, preserved food store, though. I think I'll take that instead with that one slot. Anchorage been built next to that. I would love to upgrade that to a harbor. Next to that, we built a warehouse. Is there anything here I would change, by the way? Maybe this a little bit. Put one of these guys on culture, yeah. Here, I don't think I would change very much. This all looks fine to me. Warehouse built next to that. Don't think I would change anything. Oh, I know, I've already looked at this. New pop in Lathrippa, but that doesn't change very much. New pop just next to that. It does open up a building slot we can utilize. I know I need wax in some places. I don't think this is one of those places, though. But I could still build the wax workshop. I don't really desperately need anything else here. A physician's house would probably be nicer. Wax can already reach here pretty easily. I think I'll build it anyway. I think we actually need it more down south, but still. Large warehouse built down here. This looks good to me. Really kind of running out of things to build here. We could get a bunch of culture from the noble gardens in exchange for some decadence. Do I need this? No, but I am kind of running out of things to build. I don't need a slave market. I could try to shuffle it to be something else, but yeah, I don't need that. It's weird because culture introduces decadence. This is probably mostly good for loyalty. I don't like any of these options, actually. These options all kind of suck. And the brickwork can't benefit from stone. There's a land reclamation we haven't even built here with this. I could build the brickwork, but again, it's not the most useful. I think I'm actually just going to shuffle those proposals for once. So we'll go ahead and do that. And with that, I'm out of time for this episode. So for now, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.